Good morning students. Hope you all are fine. In previous lecture, we learnt about what is present simple tense. You remember that students? Like where do we use this present simple tense, what it is, its form, and how can we make positive, negative and interrogative sentences in present simple tense, right? You remember this chart? So today let's look into the present continuous tense. Now what is present continuous tense? It is also known as present progressive tense. So let's quickly look at when do we use this present continuous tense. It is used for the actions. Now what kind of actions? So actions that are happening now, actions that are temporary, and future plans. Like here students, future plan is not based on the imagination like I will do this in future, but now here you need to remember that, okay, it's not like that, but we are talking here about some definite future plans. Let's look at the examples to understand each of them. The very first example is the boys are playing cricket. It says that the present continuous or present progressive tense indicates an action which is in progress at the time of speaking or at the present time. So you can say that it is used for something that is happening now, the very moment. So here in the example you can see students that boys are playing cricket right now in the very present moment, something which is happening right now, okay. Let's look at the second example which is for temporary. I am reading Alchemist. Now Alchemist is the name of the book. You must have heard about it, students. So here we are, it's like telling others that this situation is not permanent. It's temporary situation. It's an action which may not be actually happening right now. Like I'm not reading it at this particular moment, but I'm reading it. It's in the process. Okay? And very third thing, as I said, it's for an action that has already been arranged to take place in near future. So if I say here that I am going to the cafe tonight, it means it indicates the future. I'm going to means it's in the future, right? But when? So it's tonight itself, like in a near future, which is already arranged, and this is something which is definitely going to happen. It's a definite future plan. This is final. I am going tonight. Okay? I hope you understood with the example, students, that present continuous tense means the actions which are happening right now at the very moment, actions which are temporary, and something like a definite future. Okay? I hope you understood now, students. So let's now move on to its form, or you can say its sentence structure. Now present continuous tense is formed using the subject plus be form of verb plus verb in the continuous or ing form plus object. Now I know you are a little confused here, what is this all about, but I'll try to clear. First let's look at the form of, like here you can see be form of verb. So let's look at that. Let's first try to understand that. What do you mean by be form of verb? Okay. So be verb forms. Now be is irregular verb. I'm sure students, some bells are really ringing in your mind right now because we've learned in the past about verbs, its forms, what are regular verbs, what are irregular verbs, etc. Right? So you have that kind of knowledge. So I'm not going to repeat all those again and get into those details again here, But let's again revise something about what's relevant here, particularly in case of the present continuous tense. Okay, so this be verb forms are also known as helping verbs. Okay, but helping verb, again here helping verb also you know what they are. Okay, but this be form of verbs are also sometimes used as main verb. Again I will not get into all this right now to avoid confusions. Let's here make it very simple. Let's keep it very simple. So just remember that be form of verbs has 8 forms in total. Be, am, is, are, was, were, being and been. These are the 8 forms of be form of verbs. But here when we talk about the present continuous tense, we use it as a helping verb, and here particularly present continuous tense uses to be form of verb, which has again 3 forms: am, is and are. Do not get confused, no need to get confused. Just in the next slide it will become little easy for you to understand as we will use some of the examples. So just remember this much, that when it comes to present continuous tense uses to be form of verb. Now to be has 3 forms, which are am, is and are. Okay, so let's look into the next slide and try to understand it more clearly. Now to be form for present continuous. See, now this is very simple. Here it says that if the subject is I, so you have to use am, and when you combine them it becomes I am. So you can see students on your left side, there's I, which is first person, then next row, in the first column the second row you can see he, she, it is second person, and in the third row, first column third row is you, we, they, which is used for the third person. This all are your subjects, right? Then you go to the middle column. Middle column you will find am, is and are. As I said before that they are to be form of verbs. Okay, and to your right side what I have done is I have just combined the subject plus to be form of verb. So you get the third column, the last column to your right. Okay, where I have just combined both of them. So let's look at it again. So when we talk about the first person, we use am, A-M-M with I. So it becomes I am, I am. Then we use is with the second person, he, she, it. And so you get he is, she is and it is. Then we go to the third row, like third form of verb, are, be form of verb, which is used with the third person, you, we or they. So we get you are, we are, they are. Okay, so now remember, right now we are just talking only about to be form in present continuous tense. Students, do not get confused. Let's go back to the form again. The form says, sentence structure says subject plus to be form, means am, is, are, plus continuous or ing form of verb. Okay, so now here you can say, let's try to make sentences now. The very first person is I. So first person I plus to be form of verb am plus ing form of verb. So first form of verb here we will use, you know that read, read is first form of verb. Then you add ing to it to make it present continuous form. Okay, so I have added ing to the first form of verb, which makes it reading, read plus ing equals to reading. Okay, so you get a sentence, I am reading. Similarly, let's try to make sentences with second person and the third person. Okay, so students, here you just learn to make positive or affirmative sentences in present continuous tense. Hope this chart is clear to you. Okay. Now let's learn to make negative sentences in present continuous tense. So here we say that subject plus to be form of verb, which are am, is and are, plus we will use not to make, obviously to make the sentence negative, we use negation not, plus we use ing form of verb, which gives us the sentence, our final sentence. Let's look at the example. I, first person, which is your subject, then you add am. You know that already, that we have to use am with I. Then you say not to make it negative, plus ing form of verb, that is reading. So you get the sentence, I am not reading. Similarly, let's go to the next one, he, she or it, which is second person. We will use is with second person. So then we add not plus ing form of verb, that is reading. So you get he is reading, sorry, he is not reading. Now see, you can here combine also. You can see the first example, I am not reading, where I have combined I plus am. So you can say I'm or I am, both are correct. Same way here, he is not reading. So you can say, you can also combine is plus not, that becomes isn't. So he is not reading, he isn't reading, both are correct. Same way, she is not reading, she isn't reading. Let's go to the third one. The third person, you, we, they, we use are with it, plus not plus reading. So you get you are not reading. Again here also you can combine are plus not, so you get aren't. Please remember the pronunciation, students. R will be silent. It's not aren't, it's aren't. Okay, not ant, not aunt. Okay, it's aren't. You get the sound of R, but it's still silent. Okay, so you get the sentence, you are not reading or you aren't reading. Both are correct, both the ways are correct. Then you get we aren't reading or we are not reading, and then they are not reading, they aren't reading. I hope this is very clear, students. This is very simple. You know what you just have to do is, we have learnt in the present simple the how to make the sentences and everything. You just need to replace the formulas, and it will be very easy if you remember the rules. Okay, so let's now go to forming interrogative sentences. Interrogative, we all know, interrogative means questions. So when you want to form questions, you use to be form of verb in the beginning with a capital letter. So am with a capital letter A, is with a capital letter I, and are with a capital letter A. Okay, so am, is and are to be form of verb we will use first to form the question. Then we will add subject, then we will add verb in the ing form, and do not forget to put the question mark at the end. Okay, let's look at the sentences. Let's see how we can form the sentence in interrogative sentences here. So first, as I said, am with a capital letter A, then you add subject I, because it is am we will use subject is I, so we will use am. Then reading, so am I reading, and the question mark at the end. Then you get is, so he, she, it. If the subject is second person, he, she, it, then you use is, then you use reading, so you get is he reading or is she reading. Okay, and look at the pronunciation, it should sound that you are asking a question. Okay, then the last one, if the subject, if the third person is you, if it's in third person, then obviously it's you, we, they, then we use are with it, but in the beginning. So are with a capital A, are, you, we or they plus ing form of verb. So you get, are you reading? Are we reading? Are they reading? Okay, students, isn't it easy, simple? Okay, great. So, hope you understood, students, how to make all three types of sentences: affirmative, negative and interrogative in present continuous tense. All this will be easy for you. Again I'm reiterating the same thing, that if you understand and remember this simple rules, you will not forget. So do not forget to revise it again and again. Okay students, have a very good day.